There are many things that George made work seamlessly. Some of those are things that you would not tell him, but which he would read from your body language. He would know that Mzee is struggling with this kind of decision, and he will call you and tell you, have you spoken to Mzee this morning? And you say, I don't need to talk to him. He tell you, call him. That time he knew there's something you are struggling with. George loved order. George loved decorum, and George loved sustaining an image of Mzee. So that if you looked like you are not fit to be around Mzee, he would whisper to your side and tell you never appear like this before again. On this, on the left-hand page of this, you see George in a red tie. I have this red tie. He left it with me. He left it with me because the day we were in Addis, he felt that the tie I was wearing was not fit for the occasion. So he told me, take this one. And I think that the last time we met as officers, he left me with this tie. I still have it. He gave it to me because he had a way of wanting the space around you to look like. And he would not tell you, all these nice dresses that you see, George, it was deliberate. It was very deliberate. Finally, behind all the tough things that he did, George helped me sustain, because George was very friendly to a very special constituency called the media. When you had an occasion where I could not appear and I knew George was there, I was okay. You would tell him, please, of all the things the media get accused of, all they need is access. Facilitate their access to the boss, and we will be okay. And George did that. I will miss, on a light note, those occasions when we traveled abroad with George. And Mzee, you know, when we are there, out there with you, we don't sleep. Every footstep in the corridors, we assume is you leaving. So there are occasions when George heard footsteps in the corridors, would run out with a vest because he believes Mzee is leaving, only to come back and find you are actually asleep. And would laugh it off. We know those occasions when Mzee would feel disappointed by his staff, when we would say he has hit the roof, when everybody would freeze. In that freezing, only George would come back and tell people, now how long are you going to freeze? Get away and go. So we'll miss that. We thank God for his life, and we thank you for everything that you have put into his life. And we assure you, we'll try to fill the gap. Thank you very much.
Makofi kwa Dennis. Now we know Dennis Onyango only has one good tie, and it's a red one. George Oduor served as the Right Honorable Security, and his colleagues are right there. They may not speak now, but please just rise so that you are recognized. Please rise up. Those are Makofi Kwao. And that's only part of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga's security team. If you think they're all here, the person seated next to you might actually be part of that team. Tangainya. All the former members of parliament who are here, please rise up. I think the person who's come farthest is the former member of parliament from Molo, the Honorable Mungai. Makofi kwake. Honorable Mbeyu is also there. Yes. Asanteni sana. I even see Prof behind there. Allow me now, on behalf of all the friends of George Oduor, and we are all here as friends, but only one person will speak briefly on behalf of the friends, and that will be Silas Jakakimba. Please.
Excellency the President, Prime Minister Odinga, and Madam Caro, George Neluongeni Meru, and fellow monarchs. I bring my pole to Madam Caro and the people of Alego Seje Jodalagi George, Okepe George, Nyikepene, Ganyula Duto, Gijo Alego, Jo Game, to Gijo Rieda, Akelo Pole Maga Makende, Kumlalo George. I'll be brief, as we had agreed. PM, it's not easy, Timon and George, but because I've been told to represent friends, I'll try. I first met George at the University of Nairobi, I think around 2002 or 2003. There was an event where the Prime Minister came to do a public lecture, organized by the then Odinga professor and another. And as a young law student, we used to look up to our seniors. Ted Munovu was the chairman then, Ken Obura. So we walked from Parklands to main campus. And when the Prime Minister, after doing his public lecture, went upstairs to the so-called senior common room, then our leaders also followed him up there. I decided to go say hi to this gentleman that came with the Prime Minister. Telo Bear Ainya. That is how our friendship began with George. And he's held my hands over the years. Along the way, some months later, he told me, Ana no Kenya thima longo, biateri musane Jakom. Notera Jakom at a venue called the United Kenya Club. And I did lunch with Jacom. I think that day there was also Francis Ogola. And thank you, Jacom, for the time shared. The honor I had to serve you through George is not a small thing. Moving on to just recently, I don't want to speak to our friendship. It's a long time of friendship. George and Caro are always on the island, the so-called the Promised Island Mfangano. And I said the other day, the first time they came, you know, when visitors come to visit us, Daktari, we do fish. So George did not eat fish. He said, Ni eno kochamarech, he didn't do fish. He had to eat eggs as we destroyed the samaki. So one thing is, George, though he comes from the lakeside, is one of the few people from this area who never did fish and hated fish. Whenever he goes to his in-laws, the Lambwe people are here, rather Karachunyo people who live in Suba, in Lambwe, I was always by his side. Whenever I did, of course, my ceremonies at my in-laws, George was always there, and of course, alongside Fidel Odinga. So the friendship has been there for a long time. In fact, Kano Godalaka, when he was doing his house, the home here, Excellency and Prime Minister, George invited me, in spite of my young age, to come and do the two trees by the gate, this side. And he did the same for me when I was doing my residence at Kakimba. He came with Madame, and they did the same thing at my residence, at the gate, the two trees. So thank you so much. But coming to recently, I know Bruce tried speaking, and I don't want to talk about his sickness, but I just want to tell you people, because most people are calling me asking, did George have an accident? George really struggled the last 3 weeks, and PM, thank you so much. In spite of your tight schedules, you are going to Sudan, coming back, checking in. You even came to the hospital, it was tough, and you told me, Sila, this is terrible. But you always found time to come and offer moral support, so thank you so much. I know there's something we want to do away with in terms of Thanksgiving. It's called vote of thanks. So thank you, Jacom, for everything and the moral support. You remember the day you came when he was in ICU, second time? He opened his eyes for the first time in 4 days of ICU when you came with Maurice and Upondo. And that really encouraged him. In fact, the last word I think he uttered was Erokama, not to Jacom. So asante sana. Thank you, Excellency, the President, through Dr. Omolo. Your moral support has always been around us. But George, as I told PM, is a strong man. He went through this thing bravely. He was very brave. From home, he went to ICU, did HDU for around 9 days, went back to ICU, but he was very brave and strong throughout. And thank you, PM, for the honor you called me to your office and told me, Sila, I want you to coordinate this thing. And of course, I asked PM, could we have Dr. Tienda Molo to support? Because PM told me I don't want a funeral committee. And I know, he's been in denial. I know Prime Minister Odinga almost very well. He's paining, he's grieving. And I told you, Daktari, he told me, Sila, I don't want a committee. Committee for what? Committee Marango. You know, I'll not say much because he's in pain and I understand him. But he was gracious enough to allow us to have Daktari to handle this space. So asante sana for the honor to do this, and God bless you. On behalf of all friends, we say asanteni for the support. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. And the church, Bishop, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Gospel Latis, mbarikiwe. Pastor Evelyn, yes, support Manabu. Thank you, Prime Minister and President.
Thank you, Silas. Excellency, do not let Jakakimba mislead you that there's only one promised island. We have serious islands on Lake Victoria, and all of them are promised.
Sorry, I forgot. There are colleagues that we served with at the Prime Minister's office, and they have been coming around, both at home, in the hospital, and here. Kasuku, Maina, and the entire team, even Dennis Onyango and Kina Ibrahim, you are still there. Your support is appreciated, and God bless you.
We have the Luo Council of Elders. I want to invite our care, Jaduong Odungiranda, to come and speak. Samobiro know all the members of the Luo Council of Elders, wherever you are, and all the elders from other tribes who are here, please be upstanding for recognition. All the members of the Luo Council of Elders. Jaduong Ayaga, who is the deputy care, why are you not standing? Pamnegi uru. Mae care mar Luo. The care of the Luo in all the 12 countries that the Luos reside in. Thank you, Kero Dungiranda.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Mama Karen, nijo kanisa matayo nyasi maro di wuor udalego. Adugo nuwero kamano, kecho miya dakika manok muda chungo ka. Uluonga mani kecho en madaraka mamara, mar bedo ker mar oganda Luo. Jokanyanda mamoso utudo imore uru. Oganda Luo moso utudo imore uru. Satana sindwe. Satana sindwe. Erokamano moganda monor ka. Mobiro ko odiwura ng'eyo. Kata okadhi matuta ng'eye. Agoni mos Wunyalego. Marwito, one of your best people. Alamoni Nyasaye ni kachaso ye. To miye nga machielo machalgo di wuor. Asegwedi. Alamoni Nyasaye mone yudi another gentleman machalgo di wuor. Gikite, gitimne duto. Odi wuor kanango romogo. Kawuokie jela to koro jigo mbaka to di wuoro ok losi kata wach mamit manade taduga ng'iyo batha to kodi ng'ani en ang'amo ne nyiero to ji nyiero mani odi wuor wito ng'ama ber Nyasach polo mondo kaw chunyi oket kama ber. An kod joga moko ka jodongo duto, jaduong mwa Tanzania, jaduong mwa Mumias, jodong duto ay umalo de achiel kende. Maka jodong Luo, Maka jodongo Luo Council of Elders. Jodongo Mabondo ere. Jodongo Masiaya ere. Aduogo nuero kamano. Aduogo ero kamano e wach maro di wuor nikech wach ma oticho di wuor maber. Okelo President Ruto kawuono wan go ka. Nyuja Desemba ka. Kaka ker maluo. Abedo ke jodongo adek madongo. Abedo ke Museveni wuod lokacha. Abedo ke Ruto wuod Nandi to Raila kolo wunya lego mago joma dongo e thurwa ka. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Akwayo Nyasach polo n'oganda luo kamoro amora ma gintie mondo giriwre gibe gimoro achiel. Ki gimoro amora wuoge e kind luo kama antie ni eri. Agombo ni kamoro amora mwandhiye wayud ka jaluo en achiel. Amiya ubadu malo ni jaluo bed achiel. Miya umalo. Aduogo ni wero kamano. Aneno kalian ni eliel mapek. Utingo waga tuoli be wan go ka. Kata rengo wonya mayanga wan go ka. Kata Mazayo wuod Kos be wan go ka. Osiepna moro ba aneno ka. Ne mali boss ji baba. Ting mali malo. Manga musiepna matek. Ero kamano aonge kod weche. Dakika mano miya ariyo meda ng'wen. Ero kamano achiwo masoch wach ni Nyasaye gwedhna uduto.